Hello everyone and welcome to another episode here on Yuan Bo Legendary Episode 2. And what we have, previously we conquered the first province, everything is cool, everything is fine, we've done it, and now it's up to conquer the rest of the the Savage Orc factions here, all the way up to Shrine of Sotek. That at least is the first part of the plan. In terms of the second part of the plan, here near Shangwu, we are going to finally declare war on the vampiric faction here. I call them the Jade Vampires. They do have a jade face there. And I'll have to recruit some more units. For now, they should be enough to deal with the enemy. Let's go.
Check your weapons. It benefits the Empire.
Unfortunately, there's no one that I can request for gold to join the war, but that is fine. It's early game. We'll have time to get some money. They have more units, but that won't stop us. So we're gonna use this defensive position. This is a little bit of high ground for my archers and the spears, and my flanking units are going to be the ogres. They're going to deal with both the general unit and the dogs unit, seen here. So let's watch the battle and enjoy. I really love watching these guys in formation. I have to do a Tomb Kings campaign once the rework comes in. It's a small rework, but I hope it changes things enough so that we can play it out and have some fun. I really love the Tomb Kings aesthetic, the undead aesthetic at all. It's really cool to see. They all wear night goggles. That's an advantage for them. You know, mine are not used to this dim lighting. In fact, I'm glad that they all have night goggles, otherwise I wouldn't be able to identify who are mine and who are theirs. That's it. With a club as big as the skeleton itself, I guess they stand no chance here. The army of the dead will just become plain dead very soon. And let's overview the battle, and it seems like everything is going well and fine. Peasant spearmen hold on forever, especially against these small entities. You know, these small units like zombies and skeleton warriors, they cannot pass through the peasant spearmen fast enough to deal any damage to my archers, which continue to pepper down arrows and deal with the enemy just perfectly. Wonderful victory. So we capture the settlement. We're gonna get some skills here, and I'll talk about the Lord Magistrate. And why do I think he's great to lead peasant armies? But still, for now, conscription field, I'm gonna demolish it. The reason for that being the balance. I want yang and not balanced. And I could recruit some peasant archers and then wait for some peasant long spearmen. I think that's the best course of action here. Maybe one of each. Yeah, 4-4. It feels more balanced out. Let's take out a little bit of a look for the skills. Inspired marksmanship. It has those inspired defense, assault, and marksmanship. Let's go a little bit with marksmanship. The main idea, I want to go for logistician, because this lord, it's really cool, especially with the harmony amplifier, to just lead a peasant army, a very cheap army, and to give them buffs enough for them to perform more admirably in battle. So yeah, that's the plan here for him. And we'll have to get some cavalry, that's for sure. But for now, let's skip the turn. We have recruit rank +2. We're taking advantage of that for the peasant spearmen. Let's go for bureaucrat training so that they can get growth and the income. And I'm thinking I could get this income generated. But because of the caravans, if I make good decisions in terms of the caravans, I can just keep going for military buildings. Cavalry one feels like it's going to be important. So let's move. Hopefully in range of Bridge of Heaven for the next turn. If not, it's fine. Yeah, I don't think it can reach. We'll see that. It's an 11 garrison. So we're going to recruit the 3 spears with unit rank 5. That's perfect. Exactly what we wanted. And all of that is because of the yin, or the yang actually, in the province, which gives +1 recruit. And then the 2 extra levels. Yep, everything adds up. Overall, we're going to move here. Be very careful when leaving. It has happened to me that I left from the port because of how the map works. So be very careful when leaving there. As I was testing. I want to recruit that unit, but I still don't need it for this battle. I only need it for the last one. So for now, I'm going to save up on the upkeep. In terms of diplomacy, the Dimmed Suns, they're at war with Clan Eshin, so it might not be a good idea to have some plans with them. But for now, I can get Balthasar Gelt in good relations with me. It's definitely important. He will be my south defense, basically. I could get a peace treaty with the Jiangxi rebels, but that's not important right now. Caravan completed with 4,000 of gold, that's perfect. We get the Anchor Chain. Immune to psychology is always nice, and the physical resistance helps. The unit of gyrocopters is a much better addition, actually, for that caravan. Because gyrocopters, unless the enemy has any form of range, it's just free damage, and it can do everything that you need. Okay, I'm gonna recruit 3 peasant horsemen. There we go. That's perfect. That's perfect, actually. So we're going to capture both of these settlements from the vampires, if I can, and then we're going to proceed up to Clan Eshin later on. Back to the main provinces. Time to siege the second to last settlement from the Savage Orcs tribe. And we have a battle on our midst. A siege battle. Let's take advantage of the ladders. They still exist, so let's go for it. I'm just going to approach my archers so that they can fire. The Jade Lion is going to approach on the gate and knock on it. And my flyers are going to take that remote unit of archers that was left alone. Yuan Bo is going to do most of the damage because he flies, transform into dragon, and take out any other archers. Let's watch the battle. For those of you who do not know, any units sent out through the walls are dead immediately. So just the knockback from the charge here is enough sometimes to make the whole unit go leave. And especially if you have some charge bonuses, it will increment that the amount of units that get sent out to the ground. Which of course is immediately a kill, so it's much better. You can do a lot, for instance, with Pegasus Knights or with Hippogriff Knights in other situations, of course with Bretonia or any other flyers. See all of those that were sent out flying? They're now dead, and that's something that is actually quite realistic. It's quite nice. But I wish the walls were slightly bigger to avoid too much of this. Sometimes they just fly way too much, and that's a lot of casualties there. They're doing well in leaving the walls, while myself, I'm getting over to the walls with my ladders. You already see them positioned. And let's go after the enemy lord and caster. Really like these animations. It's difficult for sometimes to film this because it goes so high up, but still I try. I need a better cameraman mod, if anyone knows. That was a nice attack. Time to roll over. It's actually 3 attacks that he does in succession. See there? Now it's time for my Jade Lion to go in and help. Oh, Yuan Bo just ate a Savage Orc. Did you see that? If you didn't, go back and watch it. He's doing it again. Did you hear the snap? I have yet to capture it in full. There you go. He goes up, sends it up, and eat it. I couldn't film it, sorry. It's way too up. But he's hungry. That's the 3rd Savage Orc he eats. And very soon, this will be over. I'm predicting as soon as some damage is done to these Savage Orcs, they're gone. And of course, we win the battle. What a nice decisive victory, some gold as well, so it doesn't matter that we're suffering in upkeep. Let's occupy, gain some income from buildings, which is excellent as well. And overall, let's continue with the same idea. I should recruit these guys, but I only need them for the next one. So if you can, just save up that little bit of money, guys. It's so important. Let's go and keep going with unyielding for the infantry buffs. It's always important and always very relevant, especially when you're facing armies that potentially have better infantry than you have. Like Savage Orcs, if they would get only big guns, it would be a big of a problem. And yeah, so a decision has to be made here. A floating pyramid or the Isle of the Crimson Skull? Do I want tier 2 barracks? I certainly think I do. And to ensure that we get it immediately, let's rush construction. That's 4 turns immediately. And now not only the 4 turns are completed, I get to build it up and I get to build a secondary building. Do I want something for military or do I want just some growth? I think growth, the less construction cost, is helpful. And the harmony is also helpful. So let's try it out. In terms of the Celestial Riverlands, we already have the Peasant Horsemen. Let's attack on the next turn. And that's the thought process. So, in terms of recruitment, should I use the Levy the Provinces? Yes, of course. It's much better. I'll get a full army before attacking. Yep. I think that's 7, 6, 4 horsemen. It feels good. The caravan needs more sale value of cargo and maximum cargo capacity. I really prefer to focus on the luck aspect. As in, I'm not even going to improve much my army, and I'm going to just consider that I prefer to have the cargo value whenever they manage to reach. Because of course I'm gonna think I can overcome the difficulties in the battles by my own strategy and positioning and everything. Let's ambush here, or a little bit to the edge. There we go. And now yes, we're gonna recruit. We're suffering 500, but it's fine. We're gonna capture that place. It has a port, so it shouldn't be too much of a damage to our income. So yeah. That's good. Next turn has passed and we're going to attack Bridge of Heaven. A close victory with medium casualties. Be very aware of the medium casualties. This is a very easy battle if you fight. So yeah, let's go for it. To battle! We have not the high ground, they have the high ground, so I'm going to try to keep it as much as in the level. My ogres are going to finish up those dogs that are approaching, while my cavalry is going to go on the side. Later on, they're going to hammer and anvil, of course. They're going to deal with that unit of dogs and whatever else comes in. Let's watch from the point of view, my Lord Magistrate. There he is. Love the cape. It's actually really cool. I always love watching armies like this march. Man, this reminds me of Shogun, actually. Shogun 1 and 2. Here are the enemy dogs. They're gonna move in against 2 units of ogres. That's a lopsided encounter. But yeah, I'll never get tired of watching these guys march in sync. It's just so cool to see. So awesome. Here's the Necromancer. That's the one who's going to give me some trouble, but I'm prepared. It's a little bit more leveled ground, not a lot of high ground there, so I'm glad actually. And now my horsemen are taking the dogs and the bats here, sending in the other units to recover. It's not the best ground for them to attack, but it's working. Even one of my units of horsemen is leaving and withdrawing. That's because they're peasants, but it's fine. Let's watch a little bit. And here's the enemy Necromancer fighting with my Lord Magistrate nearby. He's gonna win this. He has a much better melee capabilities, plus all the spells. But still, I'll be able to survive. Dealing with these bats with my cavalry. Come on. Help your friends, archers. And the cavalry returns with a nice charge on the enemy's backs. I was thinking on one target and then realized I need to get some more pressure on the enemy Necromancer. So let's move in. There we go. Already the unit that was here is dead, so all that we need is to create a little bit more pressure for that Necromancer to leave. How is the battle looking? Yep. That's the only damage that I need to do. It's on that Necromancer. There's a unit of spearmen there who may cause me some trouble, so I'm attacking with my missiles. But overall, as soon as this guy is even suffered a little bit of damage, it will run. And that's the end of it. A very nice battle and one more settlement. Victory. Alright, everything is going well and as planned. So this is usually when plans don't work. So someone declares war that was not predicted. I'll have to be ready for even the Cathay ones. So it's going to be difficult. The anchor chain, I think, should go for him. He doesn't have a lot of good stuff. Yeah, I don't think the anchor chain would go for Yuan Bo. There's no need. He can fight anything in the early game. Skills for you, the Will of the Dragon, of course. You've seen what it does. And Root Marcher. Finally, I should have gone Root Marcher the first. I'll reach this place actually a little bit sooner. They were destroyed, and that's because the other province, the other settlement here, was captured by a Cathay faction. Later on, we'll confederate them, so I'm not too worried. And of course, Eshin will now become the main threat. But that will be on the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.